Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 1, Chapter 16 and Text 4. There's a little bit of a hitch from the place where we normally get these recorded lectures by Srila Prabhupada, so we're doing it a little different now. But hopefully things will go on okay. Without further ado, we'll start the class. Hare Krishna.
सरस्वती भूषामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much. Hare
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Nijagrāhaujasā. vīraḥ. Kaliṁ. digvijaye. kvacit. nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ. śūdraṁ. ghnantaṁ. go-mithunaṁ. padā. nijagrāhaujasā vīraḥ kaliṁ digvijaye kvacit nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ śūdraṁ ghnantaṁ go-mithunaṁ padā nijagrāhaujasā vīraḥ kaliṁ digvijaye kvacit nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ śūdraṁ ghnantaṁ go-mithunaṁ padā nijagrāhaujasā vīraḥ kaliṁ digvijaye kvacit nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ śūdraṁ ghnantaṁ go-mithunaṁ padā nijagrāhaujasā vīraḥ nijagrāha sufficiently punished. Ojasa by prowess.
And see
Was on his way. Padā by the leg. Translation. Once when Mahārāja Parīkṣit was on his way to conquer the world, he saw the master of Kali-yuga, who was lower than a śūdra, disguised as a king, and herding a cow and a bull by his leg. The king at once caught hold of him to deal sufficient punishment.
శ్రీమద్ భాగవతము ప్రథమ స్కందము 16వ అధ్యాయం 4వ శ్లోకం. పరీక్షిత్ మహారాజు కలియుగంలో ప్రవేశించిన విధం. ఇది ప్రభుపాద వారు లాస్ ఏంజలస్ జనవరి 1, 1974లో ఇచ్చిన ప్రవచనం. దీని భావం: ఒక మారు పరీక్షిత్ మహారాజు ప్రపంచ దిగ్విజయ యాత్రకై వెడులుచు గో వృషభములు పాదములను గాయపరచుచున్న శూద్రుని కన్నను హీనుడుగా రాజవేషధార అయిన కలిపురుషును గాంచెను. అంతటా తగిన శిక్ష విధించుటకై అతనిని పరీక్షిత్ మహారాజు శీఘ్రమే బంధించెను.
So, it was the duty of the king to go on tour and see persons who are actually not abiding by the laws of Vedic principle. This is the duty of king. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that chaturvarnam maya system gunakarma vibhagas. In the human society, I have divided 4 classes of men. Chaturvarnam maya system. Krishna says, I have done it. So, by nature, there are 4 classes of men. Anywhere you go, you'll find 4 classes of men. First class, intelligent men. In whichever you take, you'll find not all of them of the same category. First class, second class, third class, and fourth class. First class means the most intelligent class. Scientists, philosophers, like that, mathematician, great religionists, they're first class. Second class, administrator, to see that the government is going nicely. People are not unhappy, people are not suffering from thieves and rogues. This is the first business. Good government means that people will think that they are secure. Their property and person is secure. There will be no harm. Not many years ago, say about 100 years ago, in India, the native states, the rule was that if something is lying on the streets, valuable or invaluable, nobody should touch it. The person who has lost or who has left that thing there, he would come and pick it up. You cannot touch. That was the law. And if one was caught, a thief, his hands will be cut off. In Kashmir state, this was the rule. As soon as a thief is arrested and it is proved that he has stolen, the only punishment is cut his throat, cut his hands. Exemplary punishment so that nobody will dare to steal. This is second class administrators. And the third class to produce money, businessman, mercantile. Money is also required. So without money, nothing can be done. So that is not. But that is the business, that is the occupation of the third class state. And the fourth class, śūdra. They cannot take any post as intelligent class or administrator class or money producing class. They are simply servant, help others. Śūdra. The śūdra was not meant for taking the political power.
సో ఇది రాజు యొక్క కర్తవ్యం. రాజు యొక్క కర్తవ్యం ఏంటిదంటే ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా పర్యటన చేస్తూ అతను చూస్తూ ఉండాలి. ఏ విధంగా అయితే వేదిక సంప్రదాయాలు సూత్రాలు కానీ ఏ విధంగా ప్రజలు పాటిస్తున్నారా లేదో అని పరిశీలిస్తూ ఉండాలి. అది రాజు యొక్క కర్తవ్యం. ఎందుకంటే భగవద్గీతలు కూడా వివరించడం జరిగినది. భగవద్గీత 4వ అధ్యాయం 13వ శ్లోకంలో ఏం వివరిస్తున్నారు? చతుర్వర్ణం మయా సృష్టం గుణ కర్మ విభాగశ. ఇది మానవ సమాజంలో ఒక ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశం. ఏంటిదంటే మానవ సమాజాన్ని 4 వర్ణాలుగా విభజించడం జరిగినది. చతుర్వర్ణం మయా సృష్టం. అంటే కృష్ణుడు భగవద్గీతలు ఈ విధంగా 4వ అధ్యాయం 13వ శ్లోకంలో వివరించడం జరిగినది. సహజంగా ప్రతి ఒక్కరు మానవులో 4 రకాల తరగతులు మానవులు ఉంటారు. 4 రకాల తరగతి మానవుల్లో మొదటి తరగతి వారు ఎవరంటే బుద్ధిమంతులు. వాళ్ళు ఎంతో నైపుణ్యం కలిగి ఉంటారు. వారు ఏదైనా తీసుకున్నప్పటికీ ఏ కార్యక్రమం తీసుకున్నప్పుడు అందులో ప్రావీణ్యతని ప్రదర్శిస్తూ ఉంటారు మొదటి తరగతి ప్రజలు. 2వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు ఎవరంటే వాళ్ళు ఏదో అంటే వారు ఇది ఉదాహరణకు కార్యనిర్వహణలో ఉంటారు. మనం ఉదాహరణ 3వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు 4వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు ఇట్లా 4 వర్ణాలుగా విభజించడం జరిగినది. ఉదాహరణకు మొదటి తరగతి వ్యక్తులు అంటే బుద్ధిమంతులు వారు ఎవరైతే శాస్త్రవేత్తలు, తత్వవేత్తలు, ఎవరైతే లెక్కల్లో ప్రావీణ్యత కలిగి ఉంటారో మరియు ఎంతో ధార్మికత అంటే గొప్ప ధార్మికతను కలిగి ఉంటారో వారు మొదటి తరగతి వ్యక్తులుగా పరిగణనలోకి తీసుకోవడం జరిగినది. 2వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు ఎవరంటే కార్యనిర్వహణలో నైపుణ్యం కలిగిన వారు. వారి యొక్క కర్తవ్యం ఏంటిదంటే ప్రభుత్వం ఏ విధంగా పరిపాలిస్తుంది, సామాన్య వ్యక్తులు వాళ్ళు సంతోషంగా ఉన్నారా లేదా, వారు ఏమైనా బాధపడుతున్నారా, లేకపోతే దొంగలు దోరులు సామాన్య ప్రజలని కష్టపెట్టకుండా చూస్తున్నారా లేదా. ఈ కర్తవ్యంలో వారి ముఖ్య కర్తవ్యం ప్రభుత్వం ప్రజలకు సంతోషాన్ని ఇస్తుందా లేదా అని వారు ఆ నైపుణ్యంతో కార్యనిర్వహణ చేస్తుండడం కాకుండా ప్రజల యొక్క వాళ్ళ యొక్క ఆస్తిపాస్తులు కానీ వాళ్ళు ఎంతో సంరక్షించాలి. ఇంకా అంటే ప్రభుత్వం యొక్క కర్తవ్యం ఏంటంటే ప్రజలు ఎంతో శాంతి భద్రతతో జీవించడానికి కోసం వారికి సౌకర్యాలను కలిగించే విధంగా వాళ్ళు కార్యనిర్వహణ చేస్తూ ఉండాలి. ఇది చాలా సంవత్సరాల నుంచి కాదు, ఒక 100 సంవత్సరాల ముందు కూడా మనం చూడొచ్చు. భారతదేశం అంటే ఎంతో ఆదర్శప్రాయంగా ఉండేది. అక్కడ సమాజంలో నియమ నిబంధనలు ఏ విధంగా ఉండేవంటే ఒక వ్యక్తి ఏదైనా విలువైన వస్తువు దారిలో పొరపాటున జారి విడుచుకున్నాడు అనుకోండి, కానీ ఆ వ్యక్తి పొరపాటున జారి విడుచుకున్నప్పటికీ ఆ వస్తువుని ఎవరు తాకేవారు కాదు. తర్వాత ఈ నియమ నిబంధనలు కాశ్మీర్ ఒక రాష్ట్రంలో కూడా పరిపాలించేవారు. ఎవరైతే అనవసరంగా ఎవరైతే దొంగతనంలో పాల్పంటారో, వారు ఎవరైతే దొంగతనంలో నిమగ్నం అవుతారో వాళ్ళకు ఎంతో ఘోరమైన శిక్ష ఉండేది. వాళ్ళు చేయి నరికేయడము, లేకపోతే వాళ్ళు గొంతు కోయడము, ఇలాంటి ఎంతో కఠినమైన శిక్షలు విధించేవారు. అందుకోసం ఎవరైతే ఈ 2వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు ఉంటారో, కార్యనిర్వహణ చేసేవారు, వాళ్ళ యొక్క కర్తవ్యం ఏంటంటే సమాజంలో ప్రజలు సుఖశాంతులతో జీవించే విధంగా వాళ్ళకి కార్యనిర్వహణ చేస్తూ ఉండాలి. అదేవిధంగా 3వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు ఎవరైతే వ్యాపారవేత్తలు. వ్యాపారవేత్తల్లో ముఖ్యమైన అంశం ఏంటి అంటే ధన సంపాదన. ధనం చాలా అవసరం వ్యాపారం చేయడానికి కోసం. అందుకోసమే మనం ఏం చేస్తుంటాము, ఈ వ్యాపారవేత్తలందరూ ధనాన్ని ఏ విధంగా ఆర్జించాలి అని వాళ్ళు ఆ కార్యక్రమంలో నిమగ్నం అవుతూ ఉంటారు. 4వ తరగతి వ్యక్తులు ఎవరు? శూద్రులు. అంటే వాళ్ళు ఎంతో బుద్ధిమంతులు కానప్పటికీ వారు ఎవరైతే ఈ కార్యనిర్వహణ చేసే వ్యక్తులు కానీ, లేకపోతే ధనాన్ని సంపాదించే వ్యక్తులకు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వారికి సేవ చేస్తూ, వాళ్ళకి సహకరిస్తూ, వాళ్ళతో సహకారంతో వాళ్ళు జీవించడం ఉండడం, ఈ విధంగా వాళ్ళు జీవించాలి. అందుకోసం శూద్రులు ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ రాజకీయ ఒక వ్యవహారంలో వాళ్ళు నిమగ్నం కారు.
Therefore it is said here, nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ śūdraṁ. nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ. Linga means, real meaning is gender. That's the masculine gender, feminine gender. And the other meaning is sign. Just like there are signs, certain signs, we can understand here is a male, here is a female, by the signs. So lingam means sign, symptom. So nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ, śūdra. Actually he was a śūdra, but he dressed like a king. Just like if a woman dresses like a man, that is artificial. Or a man dresses like a woman, that is also artificial. So everyone has his original dress and position. Because a Shudra took the dress of a king, therefore it is called nṛpa-liṅga-dharaṁ. Artificially he was dressed like a king. And that is the position of Kali-yuga. Now the government men, they are elected by force. People do not consider whether it is a Brahman or Kshatri or Vaishya or Śūdra. As he likes, people are Śūdras. Kalu Śūdra Samabha. In the Kali-yuga, everyone is a Śūdra. Therefore naturally he will elect one Śūdra. The Śūdra is not fit for government management. As such, we find so many difficulties in the government because the head or the headman, they are all Śūdras. They have dressed like administrator, but they are Śūdras. This is the symptom of Kali-yuga. There is no Brahman, there is no Kshatriya, there is no Vaishya, maybe a few Vaishyas and all Śūdras. The Brahmana means good quality, first class quality, that is very, very rare to be found. So, it was the business of the king to see that things are going on. First of all, there is classification. Intelligent class or Brahmana, and the administrator class or Kshatriya, and the mercantile class, money producing class. So everyone is engaged and he is doing his own business. But this division must be there. Without division, the society will be in chaos. The example is given, I have several times mentioned that like in this body, there is division. The head division, the arms division, the belly division, and the leg division. They are all required. You cannot say that simply legs will do. What about the head and arms? I don't require. That is not, that dead body. That is dead body.
जय श्री श्री राधा
Any part.
गिरिराज पद्मावती बालाजी भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्रील गुरुदेव की गौर प्रेम।
Of the body, you cannot miss. They must be all in order. Then your body is fit. Similarly, in the human society, the social body, there must be these classes, the head class, the arm class, the belly class, and the leg class. Very scientific. You cannot simply, if you are
సో అందుకని మన నృప-లింగ-ధారం అనేది ఇక్కడ వివరించడం జరిగింది. శూద్ర లింగ అంటే ఏంటిదంటే అది ఒక మగ ఆడని సంబోధిస్తుంది. లింగ అంటే అంటే ఒక ఆడవారికి సంబంధించవచ్చు, మగవారికి సంబంధించవచ్చు. అందుకోసం ఇక్కడ చిహ్నాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఇక్కడ చిహ్నాలు ఏంటి అంటే ఉదాహరణకు మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. ఏమని? పురుషుడు, స్త్రీ అనేది వీరి యొక్క చిహ్నాలు ఇక్కడ వివరించడం జరిగినది. లింగం అంటే ఏంటిది? ఒక లక్షణం, అది చిహ్నం. ఆ లక్షణం ఏంటిది? నృప-లింగ-ధారం. అంటే శూద్రులు యాక్చువల్గా చెప్పాలంటే నిజంగా వాళ్ళు ఒక రాజు యొక్క వేషధారణలో ఉంటూ వాళ్ళు ఒక స్త్రీ యొక్క వేషధారణాన్ని కలిగి ఉన్నారు. స్త్రీ యొక్క వేషధారాన్ని కలిగి ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి వారేంటి అంటే నృప-లింగ-ధారం అని ఇక్కడ వివరించడం జరిగినది. ఉదాహరణకు స్త్రీ పురుషులు ఇద్దరు ఉంటారు, వాళ్ళు వస్త్రధారణ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. కానీ అది మన స్త్రీ పురుషులు ఉన్నప్పటికీ అదేంటి వస్త్రధారణ అనేది మనం అది సహజం అనేది కాదు. ఎందుకంటే మన సహజమైన స్థితి ఏంటిదంటే మన జీవుల యొక్క స్వరూపం, అది మన సహజమైన స్థితి. కానీ ఇక్కడ ఈ అధ్యాయంలో రాజు అంటే ఒక శూద్రుడు, ఒక వ్యక్తి ఏం చేస్తాడు? రాజు యొక్క వేషధారణతోటి అతను వ్యవహరిస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. వేషధారణ వేయడమే కాకుండా అక్కడ వృషభులని హింసిస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. అందుకోసం ఇక్కడ ఈ శ్లోకంలో ఏం వివరించారంటే నృప-లింగ-ధారం అని ఇక్కడ వివరించడం జరిగింది. అంటే అది ఏదో కృత్రికంగా అతను రాజు కాదు, అయినప్పటికీ ఆయన ఒక వేషధారణ, శూద్రుడు అయినప్పటికీ ఆయన ఒక రాజు యొక్క వేషధారణలో వివరిస్తున్నాడు కాబట్టి అతను నృప-లింగ-ధారం అన్నారు. అందుకోసం ఇది కలి యొక్క లక్షణం. కలియుగ యొక్క లక్షణం ఏంటిదంటే ఎవరైతే ప్రభుత్వంలో ఒక వ్యక్తులు ఉంటారో వారేంటి ఏదో ఒక ఓట్ల ద్వారా ఎన్నుకోబడుతూ ఉంటారు. కానీ వాళ్ళు నిజంగా చెప్పాలంటే వాళ్ళు బ్రాహ్మణులు కానీ, క్షత్రులు కానీ, వైశ్యులు కాదు. వాళ్ళు ఏంటి అంటే శూద్ర తరగతి వారికి చెందినవారు. అందుకోసం వాళ్ళు మనకు వివరించడం జరుగుతుంది. ఏమని వివరించారు? కలౌ శూద్ర సంభవ అంటే కలియుగంలో ప్రతి ఒక్కరు శూద్రులుగా వ్యవహరిస్తున్నారు. ఇది వారి యొక్క సహజమైన స్థితి. ఎందుకంటే సమాజంలో శూద్రులుగా ఎన్నుకోబడుతున్నారు. ఏదో ప్రభుత్వం యొక్క కార్యనిర్వహణలో ఉంటూ వారు ఒక అర్హత ఉన్నప్పటికీ లేనప్పటికీ వాళ్ళు ఒక ఓట్ల ద్వారా వాళ్ళు ఎన్నుకోబడుతున్నారు. అందుకోసమే మనకు ఎన్నో సమస్యలు ఎదుర్కొంటున్నాం ప్రస్తుత సమాజంలో. ప్రభుత్వం యొక్క సమాజంలో ఎన్నో సమస్యలు ఎదుర్కోవడానికి కారణం ఏంటిదంటే సమాజంలో లేకపోతే ప్రభుత్వంలో ఉన్న వ్యక్తి ఎవరైతే కార్యనిర్వహణలో ఉంటారో అతను ఎంతో ఒక శూద్ర తరగతికి చెందినవాడు కాబట్టి అతను ఏదో వేషధారణలో ఉన్నప్పటికీ ఆయన కార్యనిర్వహణలో నైపుణ్యతం లేనప్పటికీ అతను కార్యనిర్వహణం చేస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. ఇది కలియుగ లక్షణం. కలియుగ లక్షణాలు ఇక్కడ స్పష్టంగా వివరించడం జరుగుతున్నది. అందుకే వాళ్ళు బ్రాహ్మణులు కాదు, క్షత్రియులు కాదు, మరియు వైశ్యులు కాదు. ఈ కలియుగంలో మనం చెప్పాలంటే మనం తక్కువ మంది వైశ్యులను చూడొచ్చు, చాలా మందికి శూద్రులుగా వ్యవహరిస్తున్నారు. ఎందుకంటే బ్రాహ్మణ అంటే ఏంటిది, ఎంతో మంచి లక్షణాలు కలిగి ఉండాలి. మొదటి తరగతి యొక్క లక్షణాలు ఉండడమే బ్రాహ్మణుడి యొక్క కర్తవ్యం. కానీ అది మనం ఈ సమాజంలో చూడడం చాలా అరుదు. సో అందుకోసమే మన ఇక్కడ ఏం వివరిస్తున్నారు, ఒక రాజు యొక్క కర్తవ్యం ఏంటిది ఇక్కడ వివరించడం జరిగినది. అతను కార్యనిర్వహణలో పూర్తిగా నిమగ్నం కావాలి. అందుకోసం మనకి ఇక్కడ విభజించడం జరిగినది 4 తరగతుల వారుగా. బుద్ధిమంతులని బ్రాహ్మణులు గాను, లేదా కార్యనిర్వహణలో ఎవరు ఉంటారో వారిని క్షత్రియులు గాను, లేదా ధన సంపాదనని ఎవరు అర్జిస్తారో వారు వైశ్యులను గాను, ఇట్లా 4 తరగతులుగా విభజించడం జరిగినది. సో ఇది ప్రతి ఒక్కరి కర్తవ్యం. వారి యొక్క స్వభావం ప్రకారం వారి యొక్క వృత్తిలో నిమగ్నం కావాలి. ఇది సమాజంలో ఉండవలసిన విధి విధానాలు. ఎప్పుడైతే సమాజంలో ఈ విధి విధానాలు ఉండవో సమాజం ఎప్పుడో అల్లకొల్లంగా మారడానికి అవకాశం ఉన్నది. అందుకోసం ఇక్కడ ఉదాహరణ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఏమని ఉదాహరణ ఇచ్చారు? మన ఉదాహరణ ఏమిటిదంటే, మనకు శరీరం ఉన్నది. ఈ శరీరంకి మన తల అవసరం, మరియు చేతులు అవసరం, మరి ఉదరం అవసరం, మరి అదే విధంగా కాళ్ళు అవసరం. ఈ ప్రతి ఒక్క మన శరీరానికి ఏ విధంగా అయితే ఈ 4 ఎంతో ముఖ్యమో, సమాజంలో కూడా ఈ 4 వర్ణాలు ఎంతో ఆవశ్యకం. అందుకోసం మన ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్తున్నారు, ప్రతి ఒక్కటి అవసరం. మనం చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. సహజంగా ఈ కాలు చేయాల్సిన పనులు, లేదా తల చేయాల్సిన పనులు చేతులు చేయడం, కానీ వారి యొక్క స్థితిగతిలో వారి ఉన్నాయి. కానీ ఎప్పుడైతే ఇలా వ్యవహరించారో వారు ఏంటంటే ఒక మృత్యు శరీరంతో సమానం అవుతుంది. చేతులు చేయాల్సిన కార్యక్రమాలు చేతులు చేయాలి, తల చేయాల్సిన కార్యక్రమాలు తల చేయాలి. కానీ ఆ కార్యక్రమాలు పూర్తిగా నిమగ్నం కానప్పుడు అదేంటిది ఒక మృత్యు శరీరంతో సమానము అని ఇక్కడ వివరించడం జరుగుతున్నది. సో ప్రతి ఒక్కటి సమాజంలో ఏ విధంగా అయితే సాంఘిక సమాజంలో ప్రతి ఒక్కటి అవసరం.
Intelligent class of man, but nobody is helping him. Then what is the use of intelligence? The intelligent class must be there, but to help him, the less intelligent class man also required. Just like there are only intelligent class, that will be chaos. Nobody will care for anyone. Sometimes we find in our society all intelligent class and they fight each other. That's all. Everyone is thinking, I am intelligent, I am boss, I must order you. And the other is thinking, why you shall be boss? I am also boss. That's all. Fighting will go on. So this is going on. At the present moment, there is no intelligent class of men. But Kali-yuga sambhava, therefore things are all in chaos. Everywhere you go, any part of the world, nobody is happy, either in family or community and society, nationwide. Everyone is distrust, unhappiness, godlessness, because the intelligent class of men is finished. So, the king, his duty was that if you are professing yourself as a Brahmana, then it is the king's duty to see that you are acting as a Brahmana. Brahmana is not by birth, but guna karma vibhagasa. Guna means quality, and karma, and work also. Simply, I have got now sacred thread, I have become Brahmana, double initiated, now my business is finished. I can work, I can do whatever you like less than śūdra chandala. No, sir. If you are initiated as a Brahmana, you must act as a Brahmana. Truthfulness, sattva, sama, dhamma, titikha, arjava, jnanam, visyaka, Vijnana, Astikam, Brahma Karma, everything is there. A Brahmana must be truthful. That is the first business of a Brahmana, truthful. He will speak truth even before an enemy. Nobody speaks truth before an enemy because he wants to hide something. But Brahmana's business is to become truthful even before an enemy. That is stated. There are many.
సో మొదటి తరగతి వ్యక్తులు సమాజంలో అవసరం, ఎందుకంటే వారికి ఎవరు సహాయం చేయడం లేదు. సో మొదటిగా బుద్ధి యొక్క ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశం ఏంటిది? ఎప్పుడైతే బుద్ధిమంతులు ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో, కానీ ఈ బుద్ధిమంతులకు కూడా వారికి సహాయం అవసరం. ఒక వేరే తరగతి వారి దగ్గర నుంచి సహాయం తీసుకోవాల్సి ఉంటుంది వీరు కూడా. ఎందుకంటే మన ఉదాహరణకు ఒక బుద్ధిమంత తరగతి వాళ్ళే ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి సమాజంలో, అప్పుడు కూడా సమాజంకి ఎంతో కలత చెందుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే వేరే వ్యక్తులకు ఎవరు సహాయం చేయరు. ఒకసారి మనం చూడొచ్చు సమాజంలో ఓన్లీ బుద్ధిమంతుల తరగతి వ్యక్తి వారే ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి, వారి మధ్యలో కూడా ఎంతో యుద్ధం జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, కలత చెందుతూ ఉంటారు వారు. అందుకోసమే సమాజంలో ఓన్లీ ఏ ప్రదేశానికన్నా రాజు యొక్క కరుణ అంటే ముఖ్యమైన లక్షణం, ముఖ్యంగా లక్షణం కలిగి ఉండడం అనేది వారి మొదటి అర్హత లక్షణం. అందుకోసం భగవద్గీతలో 18వ అధ్యాయం 42 శ్లోకంలో ఎవరు ఇచ్చారు? సత్యం సమాధమ తితిక్ష ఆర్జం జ్ఞానం విజ్ఞానం ఆస్తికం బ్రహ్మ కర్మ అని వివరించడం జరుగుతుంది. ప్రతి ఒక్కటి అవసరమే. బ్రాహ్మణులకు మొదటి
Sir, I want to become your disciple. Oh, very good. Are you Brahmana or Brahmana's son? Formally, in Vedic ways, nobody could be accepted as a disciple unless he is born in a high-class family. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, especially Brahman. So this question was asked, which family you belong to? So he said, I do not know. What is my classification? Now who is your father? That I do not know. Ask your mother. Then he went to his mother. Who is my father? My dear boy, I do not know. So actually, his mother was maid servant. So maid servants have so many men, and by whom she was pregnant, she cannot remember. She also told the truth. And this Satyakam, he also came to Gautam Muni. He said, Sir, my mother also do not know who is my father. Oh, that's all right. You are a Brahman. Because you are truthful. You do not hide yourself that I am a prostitute's son. You say, this is the position. I am plainly speaking that my mother does not know who is my father. I do not know. So because you are truthful, that is the symptom of Brahman. He accepted. Yes, I will accept you as my disciple.
How did Corona spread?
You don't disturb. So, this is the process that the four castes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they were caste system when actually things are going on, just like a carpenter. His son, naturally, he becomes a carpenter. by seeing the father's work. So, he can be very easily classified as a carpenter. Similarly, formerly, the Brahmana family, Kshatriya family, Vaishya family, they were following the rules and regulations in such a way that naturally a Brahman son became a Brahman. Because he has learnt already the Brahmana principle from the parent. So naturally, little touch will make him. That is initiation. Even though one is born in a Brahmana family, why does he require initiation and sacred thread ceremony? Because simply by taking birth in a Brahmana family, one does not become a Brahmana. He has to be raised to the Brahmana standard. Otherwise there is no initiation, there is no necessity of initiation or offering the sacred thread. That is called sanskar. Otherwise by birth everyone is śūdra. Janmana jayati śūdra, sanskarat bhavet dijo. So, it is very good that one has taken his birth in a Brahmana family, but provided he has learned the Brahmana's activities nicely from the parent, he is Brahmana. Kim guna Brahmana punya.
దీనికి సంబంధించి ఎన్నో ఉదాహరణలు ఉన్నాయి. ఉదాహరణకు సత్యకామ జపాలు. ఎవరైతే ఉన్నత తరగతి ప్రశ్న వేయడం జరిగింది, ఈ తల్లిని అడిగి ఒక పని మనిషిగా ఎప్పుడైతే విషయాలు లేదు, నువ్వు నిజాన్ని కాబట్టి అనుకోండి, వడ్రంగి యొక్క కుమార్ అదేవిధంగా బ్రాహ్మణ యొక్క పరివారంలో కానీ క్షత్రియుల యొక్క పరివారంలో కానీ వివరించడానికి, లేకపోతే నేను ఇక్కడ శాస్త్రాల్లో వివరించిన తీసుకున్నప్పటికీ అందుకోసం భగవద్గీతలో వివరించినట్లు బ్రాహ్మణ కిం పునర్బ్రహ్మణ గురుదేవికి గౌర ప్రేమనందే.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So not everything works well all the time. We all know that about technology. And the place where we normally get lectures for Srila Prabhupada's recorded lectures on Wednesdays has been down for 2 days. I checked this morning. Damodar warned us ahead of time that this was happening. And so today was supposed to be Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, Text 4 from that particular website, but that was down. So then we tried to get it off YouTube. And there was a lecture that there was a Telugu interpreter also. And that's why you didn't hear this language along with Srila Prabhupada's lecture. And I just heard the devotee that was translating end the lecture. So the lecture has actually officially ended now. I apologize, but I apologize on behalf of the temple. We can't do anything about technology when something goes wrong. So that was the next best thing to getting that particular lecture in that order. Hopefully next week things will be put back in order at that website so we can access it again and continue the lecture series. Srila Prabhupada's lectures are extremely important. In the meantime, whatever we're able to pick up, please let's have a short discussion like we normally do. Again, I apologize for the situation. Hare Krishna. So anything what is picked up or any questions you want to ask? Takeaways or questions? Please unmute yourselves.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Okay.
glories to Prabhupada, all glories to the devotees on the call. It was a because of the translation, like now we could hear only half, but whatever we heard was like pretty like something that we always have to remind ourselves that regarding the varnashram system, it's according to the qualities of the person, and you know, so
Yeah.
it's not the discrimination based on caste and all these things. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I can take away. Hare
Mm.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, that's very important. I also actually noticed that Srila Prabhupada went around and made certain um, statements and then came back to that fact, including the fact that it's generally good to be a Brahmin when you're born in a Brahmin family. And he said, even gave the example of a carpenter. If parents, when the father is a carpenter, gives birth to a son, and the son looks at what the father is doing and copies what the father is doing and learns, eventually they're going to become a good one themselves. So yes, if a person is born in a Brahmin family and they learn the Brahminical culture, then they can become Brahmin. But just by being born there, if they don't learn, then Brahmabandhu, you don't become a Brahmin. You can't just wear the label that I'm a Brahmin just because I'm born in a Brahmin family. Srila Prabhupada actually stressed that quite a bit, because there were some people who did in fact come to this society and they claimed that they were born in a Brahmin family, therefore they could be automatically Brahmin. And they were immediately corrected by the statement that Srila Prabhupada made. You have to learn. You cannot be a doctor just because your father is a doctor. You have to learn to be a doctor yourself. That's the point we're making here. Or Srila Prabhupada made eventually. Mm-hmm. Although it's good to be born in a family of doctors, because the books to study to become a doctor will be there. The experience that the father has, they can share some with you. So yeah, you will have some advantages, but that doesn't make you a full-time doctor. You have to go to school, and medical school, and practice it, and be an apprentice first before you can become a fully accepted doctor. Hare Krishna. Any other comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Yeah, go
All
ahead,
gives Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. So Srila Prabhupada was explaining the qualities and duties of a Brahmana. That I picked up few of them, and how when we get initiated first or second, especially second, then we have more responsibilities. Also, our Vedic scriptures, they suggest that the position of a Vaishnava is even higher than Brahmana. So I was
Yes.
thinking that no matter whether we are first initiated, second or third or whatever, but if we are in the path of becoming a Vaishnava, our behavior, our dealings should be very, very high class. And especially when we are representing ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada, we should be very, very careful of our dealings with each other and also towards the society. So those were the few reminders I was contemplating while hearing this lecture today. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well, they may be few, but they're extremely important points that you brought up, and I'm glad you brought those up. Yes, there was even a debate. Caste Brahmanas had a debate. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this was some time back when he was alive on this planet. He was supposed to represent Vaishnavas. He was very sick at the time, so his son, Bhima Prasad, who now became Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj when he took sannyas, and also became the spiritual master for Srila Prabhupada. He was the young man at that time, and he was the one that went in place of his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And in the debate, in the end, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj represented the Vaishnavas, this point was made very clear, that higher than the Brahminical status is the status of a Vaishnava. So we even though we are conditioned souls, have been put on a path to the highest. We're learning. Okay? We're not there, but we're learning to get to the highest states, even higher than a Brahmana. So many times in the Shastra, it said that a person who is a Vaishnava already has Brahminical qualities, even though Brahminical qualities are listed in chapter 18, text 42 of Bhagavad Gita. It's there plainly. Srila Prabhupada has given the purport or commentary about it. But actually, in this lecture, he stressed the truthfulness part of it, and even gave an example of a person who went to get initiation from Gautama Muni. But anyway, in the meantime, I'll just stop here. Is there any other questions or comments? If not, then I'll continue along the path that I was seeking. All right, so here's a few things that I took away from this. First, the Prabhupada talked about the king's duty. The king's duty was to travel around or go on tour, as he put it, in the kingdom to check, to make sure that people are abiding by the laws or the Vedic principles. All of the Raja Rishis, the kings that were saintly, they did that. Now, in the society, there are 4 divisions. And that 4 divisions, first, second, third, fourth, is what Srila Prabhupada described. The first class is the most intelligent class. They're the ones that are teaching class. And by the way, they are also the Brahmana class that we were just talking about. Second class is the Kshatriya class. They are the administrators, and they're also the military people. They give protection to the people, do administration and protection. And speaking about protection, Srila Prabhupada talked about protection in terms of making sure that the country, if it was attacked by any other country, then of course the Kshatriyas, it was their duty to defend the country. But they also defended inside the country against bad people, criminals, thieves, and so on. And at the time, it was understood, it was there as a rule, that if a person was caught and it was proven that that person is a thief without any doubt, then the punishment was that their hands got cut off so that they could not steal again. At least not with their hands. Third class were agricultural people and also business people, the Vaishya class. And the fourth class were the employees, śūdras, who served the other class. So Krishna says he established these 4 classes. Chaturvarna-maya-śriṣṭam. Again, that's in the Gunakama-vibhagasa. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. So all of these good governments at the time, we don't have good governments now, but at that time, they were set up that way. The Brahmanas, they were the guides, they were the teachers, they were the most intelligent, and they guided the people, and they also guided the politicians, so that the politicians won't wind up being rogues themselves, just like it is today. So they got good counsel from the Brahmanas. And then they ruled, and they also protected the country, or the empire, whatever it is. So there was such order at that time that Srila Prabhupada said, with the laws the way they were, the strictness was up to a level that if somebody dropped something in the street, nobody would touch it. The owner could come back later and claim it. So that was also at that time, even women could actually rest on the side of the street if they wanted to in the evening without feeling that somebody would come attack them. Can't do that now, of course. So things have changed. He also talked about, well, actually, we talked about the 4th class. We talked about all 4 of them, I'm sorry. So we just continue. The personality of Kali, the age that we're in now, how it was started was that a person was already deceptive in that he was a śūdra, fourth class person, but he dressed up like the second class person, dressed up like a king. So the deception was already there. And he was just trying to cause problems. And that's continuing to this day. Śūdras, fourth class people, are not meant to be administrators. But now they are the administrators. People vote them in. So I don't need to tell you the campaign, what happens and what finally does. And people are very, very, very disturbed now, unhappy, not realizing that it's actually the system voting a person who is actually a śūdra in there is actually the underlying problem. Because we've gotten away from Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Śūdra, the intelligent class, the warrior, or the military and administrative, military-administrative side, the business side, and the employees. In one sense, you can argue that it's still there because we do have priests, we do have military people, we do have politicians, we do have business people, and then we do have employees. That's still there. The problem is the quality of all of those. We cannot trust the priests. We cannot trust the politicians. The business people are always looking to cheat. And the śūdras, the employees, they're caught in the middle of it. So that's the situation. The society itself is degraded. So even though those sections of priest and politician, military and business and employees, they're all still there. It doesn't really go properly. The rulership of the country doesn't go properly because they don't know their duties and they're not honest, especially even the Brahminical people. People have been caught left and right. So that's the situation we're in now. Srila Prabhupada did, in fact, liken the varnas, the society divisions, to the parts of the body of a person. The first class, or brahmanas, likened to the head. The head is the thinking part of the body. The second class, the administrative class, and the military class, likened to the shoulders, the strength, the shoulders. The belly is the third class, the Vaishyas, administrative, agricultural, they provide for the belly. And the śūdras are likened to the legs, getting the work done. Fourth class. Srila Prabhupada spent a lot of time talking about the fact that the Brahmana, first class person, must be truthful. There are many other qualities, but that is very, very important. And as we were talking about earlier, the Brahmana, you have to, initially it was like you had to be a Brahmin, born in a Brahmin family. But of course, as the quality of life became more degraded, then it became important that Brahmana has to have Brahman's qualities, whether they're born in a Brahmana family or not. And that's the reason why Srila Prabhupada gave that example about Gautam Muni, was seen by a man, young man, who wanted initiation, wanted to take shelter of the Muni, the Gautam Muni, which means he would become eventually a Brahman himself that way. But Gautam Muni asked him who gave birth to him, because at that time, Brahman family and birth in the Brahman family was also a factor, it was considered. But then the boy did not know who gave birth to him. Gautam Muni asked about the father for the boy, and he didn't know. And so he was advised to go ask his mother. But then the mother was a maidservant, and apparently he had slept with more than one man, so she did get pregnant and give birth to that particular young man. But even the mother did not know which of the men that she slept with caused her to be pregnant. So she didn't know either. And so she just told the boy, I don't know. And so the boy returned to Gautam Muni and said that My father, we don't know who he is. And my mother said, because of the circumstances through which she got pregnant, she also doesn't know the father. Gautam Muni appreciated the fact that this young man came and did what he was supposed to do first, find out who his father was, but he came back to tell the truth, that he didn't know and his mother didn't know who the father was. And because he admitted the truth, Gautam Muni said, so your quality is that you're truthful, and that is a quality required of a Brahmana. Therefore, Gautam Muni decided to initiate the young man and make him a Brahmana because he was truthful. So that was the story that Srila Prabhupada said in order to stress the importance of truthfulness. And we all know now that we are suffering so much because those who are in power don't tell the truth. But the problem is not those who are in power. The problem is the people, because the people vote people who are get into power from among themselves. So if we are not truthful, then we're not going to get politicians who are truthful either. Unfortunately, that is the situation, and we need to understand that. So that means the quality of life that we live must involve being truthful. Being truthful, extremely important. Otherwise, we'll be pointing fingers at one politician, we'll be pointing fingers at another politician, we'll go around and around and around, and the fact is nobody is truthful. So if we learn anything, truth is important. In ISKCON, this society, we do initiate. Second initiation is Brahman initiation. First initiation is Harinam initiation, formally chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Second initiation is Brahman, and Brahman is allowed to do deity worship. There's training that is given, but you have to get to that particular level, then you can actually be on there. So if a person does not take their service seriously, then they won't be on the altar either, even if, and that is true in ISKCON too, even if they initiate it, they have to go by the quality, especially be a reliable devotee. You just can't say, oh, this is not about getting a title and then going somewhere and doing something else and not being around. It is, in fact, a situation where the responsibility will be put on you to do the service. And you got to take the responsibility seriously. Otherwise, you'll just have Brahman by name. And as far as the transcendental system is concerned, you're not a Brahman. You're simply not. And many people who get themselves in that situation of taking the title of Brahman, going through the initiation, and then going somewhere else, doing something different and not being reliable, if they think they're Brahman, they're kidding themselves. You're only Brahman by name. It's not the real, you'll be told later on. Sometimes the spiritual masters gets informed that this is what's going on so that they can tell that particular devotee to come up to the standard of being a Brahman. Because this is not a joke. Hare Krishna. Any final comments, questions?
Hare
If
Krishna,
not,
Prabhu.
yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, except I'm listening to Srila Prabhupada. Damodar, go ahead.
Prabhu, I just wanted to discuss regarding this new thing that just came up today morning with the Prabhupada's lectures, audio lectures. Actually, I think they moved all the lectures on Transcend Store website or Transcend app. So devotees can, hear the classes from there. So we just have to make an account on that app or website, and then we'll be able to freely access those Prabhupada lectures. I don't think they have the transcripts on there, but they have all the audios, whatever, were there previously on Prabhupada Vani. Seems like Prabhupada Vani is shut down, but yeah, I mean, like, I cannot confirm that. But it's better to start, like, if you are missing out on Prabhupada's lectures, then you can go to Transcend app. That was the thing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's discuss that of this later on. Thank you for that information, but we'll go to details and sit in front of a computer and then try to access and make sure that we're ready for next week. Okay. But thank you for the information. Hare Krishna. Any final comments or questions? If not, then thank you very much for coming on, and also thank you for your patience, because we have to do as much adjustment as we could within the time and within the constraint that we were faced with. Okay. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripasindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.